Hello, my name is Chule Walker, and I stumbled onto the website losthorizons.com, and I don't know how I found the website. I was searching about the taxes, about the tax law, federal income tax. I've always had a hunch, a feeling in my gut that something was wrong with the fact that the government is entitled to a large portion of my private labors. The fruits of my labor, private labor. And somehow I ended up on losthorizons.com, and I found a book there by Peter Eric Hendrickson called Cracking the Code, The Fascinating Truth About Taxation in America. And I read this book, I read the first 3 chapters, and I was floored. So I reread the first 3 chapters, and I could not believe it was so simple. He broke it down to the history of the income tax and the meaning of income, words that have meaning inside the code that are not the ordinary meanings that you and I think about. And I finished the book, and it was immediately, I just felt empowered. Before I had even done anything, acted on it, it was just the knowledge is power. That is true, and I felt empowered. It's a very patriotic book. It's very it's not light reading, but it's not anything super difficult. So for 2015, I filed a tax return that was an educated return based on the information in this book and at the website. And North Carolina immediately returned 100% of our withholdings, as you can see in this check. Hope you can see that. And of course, the IRS did not agree with us, and they're still in the process of disagreeing. But their case is weakening all the time. I filed 2016 as well the same way. North Carolina again returned on 100% of our money withheld from us, although they diverted it to the IRS because of the claim that the IRS made on that money that the return was frivolous, although it is not a frivolous return. And I have found no evidence in my account documentation with the IRS. I've been searching for documents with them for about 9 months now, filing Freedom of Information Act requests, looking for transcripts, talking to people, going down to my local office to find out why my return is being labeled frivolous. They will not tell me why, and they will not provide any records that would indicate that it is frivolous, yet they still hold on to the money and are trying to extort money that is mine. So anyway, I cannot think of doing anything differently now that I know the truth. If you know something to be true and you act against your own conscience, that's a very dangerous thing. It's very patriotic to file this way because it really does hold your government accountable. Now that I know the law, and I read the law and the tax code, and I understand what it says, it's not very difficult. It's not rocket science. And you simply have to assert yourself and understand how to play their game and show the fact that you know the law and you're not going to stand down. And they moan and complain, but I believe that I'm very close to a resolution with the IRS, and they're going to be returning the funds that we earned for those 2 years. I've also amended another 2013, and they immediately denied that claim based on frivolous without any reasoning. And so I'm about to start down that pathway as well, getting my documentation in order. And to go to court if need be, to show that they have no claim to that money. So, again, I would encourage you to get a copy of the book Cracking the Code by Pete Hendrickson, and to learn the truth about the tax, because most Americans, a majority of Americans, do nothing that would make themselves liable to federal income tax. And of course, most states base the income tax on your federal return, and so typically you would have no liability as well with the state you live in. Now, that's not going to always be the case, I think, but in my case, North Carolina, you import your federal information into your state return, and so as it stands right now, we have virtually no real income that can be taxed because we do not exercise any federal privilege. Income does not mean all that comes in, and well, get yourself a copy of the book because it's really enlightening. You will be amazed at what you learn, and you will be able to recoup some of what you have lost, and what is rightfully yours, to better yourself and to better educate you, and you will help to establish the lawful basis for this nation based on laws. We are a constitutional republic, and although it seems to be crumbling around us, it still does operate on the principle of law. And that's it. Thanks very much.